something here. Sorry about that, guys. And let's see here. Let's get the feed up here. Let's see here. I don't have my live up on the screen yet here. It's not showing up that it's live. Anyway, I'm just I don't know, dude. This is aggravating because it's not showing me. Here we go. Go over here to live. Come on, you can load. There we go. Okay. All right. So, I hope everybody's doing good. Nobody's joined in yet, but we'll get this going here. I wanted to go over a lot of stuff here. So, first of all, if you're signing in, just say hi. Let me know where you're at. So we'll see how this goes. Got a lot of stuff to talk about here, I think. New news on model year 2025 Jetta, 2025 GLI, 2025 Atlas, and 2025 Crossport. Also ID Buzz. Stuff that I've touched on before. I do have a few notes here, so I can go over those. But the big deal is 2025 Jetta GLI is going to be in the pipeline. You'll probably start seeing those showing up at dealers by mid-November. They're already allocating those to dealers. We did not earn any, so I sent off a kind of nasty email. Hey, why didn't we get any Jettas, Jetta GLIs? But they did give us a Jetta S, a Jetta Sport, and a Jetta SE. So we did earn 3 Jettas that way. But the GLI is going to have a new color. Pure gray is going to be gone. Monterey gray will take its place. I'm going to guess it's probably something similar to that and Moonstone gray. They're similar to pure gray and Moonstone gray. It's going to be another shade in there. So it's going to be that kind of cement color. The things that I have listed out here, I can go over some production numbers because they're producing a lot of cars right now. In the last 6 weeks, there were almost 41,000 Atlases built. 22,000 roughly on cross sports and 11,000 ID4s. 39, almost 40,000 Tiguans. 37,000 Tauses. 43,000 Jettas. 6,000 GTIs and 2,100 Golf Rs. So those are pretty strong production numbers. So everybody's getting tight or getting filled up on inventory. I don't see those production numbers staying up there for forever because I think I don't know what the car market's doing. It's really weird. The car market has really changed, doing a lot of different things, a lot of things that just they're not normal. I'm messing with a screen over here on this side to see if I can get it up. So if you guys are watching, type in where you're at, where you're watching from. And if you have questions, just feel free to type them in there. I'm going to start off with the Atlas. We'll start off with Atlas for this year, 2024. We have quite a few in stock. We got about 60 of them in stock. Got a lot of Peak Editions. The Peak Edition seems to be becoming the hot car. The SEL-R-Line is still a hot car, but the Peak Edition seems to be the one that everybody's falling in love with. And in the beginning, I'll be honest, we were thinking, what in the hell? Why are they sending us so many Peak Editions? They knew. They really knew. Peak Edition is selling strong, the SE Tech and the SEL. The other car that's selling really well is a Tiguan SEL-R-Line. We don't have any, and when we do have them, they're selling. They're landing sold. So I have 3 SEL-R-Lines in the pipeline: a red one and 2 white ones. One with brown interior, one with black, that are all sold. I got 3 gray ones coming, a black one coming, and a blue one coming. Hey, Perry and Jessica. Hi guys. That's my Golf R couple. They drove to see me twice for a Golf R, one manual and one automatic. They got them when they were deep black pearl, not the Mythos black. So they got them, and they were waiting for about 2 years for those. So that was a that was a great thing. I was glad I was able to help them with. Um, oh, thanks for the garden is taken off. The garden is it's possessed. It changes daily, so it's kind of frightening how fast the stuff grows. So Atlas is selling strong. 0.9% for those if you don't know that. 0.9% for 60 months on Atlas and Atlas Crossport. So get you one of those. 60 months is not a long time. That insures probably a little higher payment than people would like, but this market insures a payment that's higher than what people would like. But if you go to 72 months, it jumps up to 4.9. But it is possible to do that. I went over those numbers on Atlas Crossport ID4. They're producing a lot of cars, which makes me think that if your dealer is struggling with inventory, it won't be much longer. Because we have on the ground right now almost 250 cars, and we've never had that many cars on the lot. We have over 50 Jettas on the ground. Most of them are Jetta Sports. We have a few GLIs as 2024s. They're all Autobahns except for one incoming unit that's a 40th anniversary edition. So I'm going to skip on over to Model 25 model year on Atlas. Atlas next year, the changes that we know of. Not a whole lot of stuff is changing. They're still coming standard with heated and ventilated seats, heated steering wheel. A lot of people ask me about that infotainment screen, the new infotainment screen that's in the ID4 and the one that's coming in the Tiguan, and if the Atlas is getting that one. Don't know for sure. I think it's highly unlikely that they're going to make any kind of change to the infotainment for 2026. I'm sorry, 2025. I'm getting ahead of myself. For 2025 with that infotainment screen, since they just came out with it this year. I really doubt that they're going to make any kind of changes to that until at least 2026, maybe 2027. But they are going to add on interior features, massage seat for the SEL Premium R-Line and a perforated headrest. And I don't think that means anything other than they're using the perforated leather that they're using on the seats on the headrest. I don't think that means anything else. And it does say some more upscale features, but I don't know what those are. We don't know what they are yet. Head-up display is already there. Park assist, premium audio, and power folding mirrors, 360 camera. All of those good things are there. The other exciting thing about the 2025 Atlas is now there's more colors. SE Tech and higher, you can now get avocado green. So you can get avocado green on a regular full-size Atlas that's not a Peak Edition. And another color called Mountain Lakes Blue. Mountain Lakes Blue makes me think it's going to be a darker color because they're keeping Kingfisher Blue, which is that bright blue color on the Crossport. So the Crossport's going to have two blues, and the Atlas is going to have one. The other thing that's happening on Atlas, that's pretty much it for Atlas. Interior color is going to be Shetland beige or Titan black with silver underlay on the premium. So you can get an avocado green premium with Shetland beige interior. I'm kind of curious. I think that's going to look good. I'm not 100% sure, but I think that's going to look really good. So you'll get those big 21-inch wheels on that car. With that, with the R-Line package, it's going to look great. They're keeping both the Peak Edition SE Tech and Peak Edition SEL for next year. Don't see any changes there either. The only difference is this Mountain Lake Blue color, because there's been people clamoring for a blue Atlas that had either Pacific Blue or Tourmaline Blue, and they're like, man, what's with the boring colors? Because the only color that's really any kind of exciting is going to be Aurora Red otherwise, or your plain old Opal White. Pure White stays around for SE Tech. Opal White stays around for SEL and higher. Atlas Crossport. Now, here's a lot of changes here. Atlas Crossport now has an SEL-R-Line Black Edition for 2025. And you can get it on all the colors, it looks like. They're keeping Platinum Gray. They're doing Pure Gray. They're doing Avocado Green now is available on the Crossport. Mountain Lake Blue and Kingfisher Blue are all available on the Atlas. I'll have to check and see if you can get the black edition with the Kingfisher blue and the Mountain Lakes blue. I'll do a follow up on that in another video, but that's going to look cool. There is, I think there is a interior color change coming too. Oh no, that's the Taos. So that's it for the Atlas SEL-R-Line black. Avocado green now available on that, and Mountain Lake blue is going to be available too. So the thing that everybody cares about, 2025 Jetta, 2025 GLI. So for 2025 Jetta, regular Jetta, manual transmission's gone. Deep black pearl, here's your colors: deep black pearl, King's red metallic, Monterey blue replaces the rising blue metallic. So rising blue is a gorgeous color of blue, but it's gone. Monterey blue replaces it. Monument gray replaces pure gray. Opal white pearl remains from SE and above. Platinum gray, pure white, and then pyrite silver. So those are your colors. Now you won't be able to get the red on the Jetta Sport, but you can get the blue on the Jetta Sport and the Jetta S, the Monterey blue. Opal white, of course, will go on the SE and higher. Manual transmission is completely gone on the Jetta except for GLI. So GLI is now the last of the Mohicans when it comes to a manual transmission. It's the only way you're getting a manual transmission on any VW is to get a GLI. Interior colors for Jetta S, you're going to have gray cloth, and also that'll be for Jetta Sport. Now, the leather interior is a color called Grigio and Titan black leather. Not sure what Grigio is. I'm guessing that's probably going to be a reddish brown, maybe a brown. I don't know what Grigio is, but it sounds very Italian, and I don't know anything about what that looks like. Another color is Micro Cloud Leatherette and Atlantic Blues and Storm Gray. That is intriguing. So that sounds like that's something for the Jetta SE. Micro Cloud and Leatherette Grigio Titan Black is another color. And Sevilla, if you're Hispanic or Latin, you say Sevilla, that's double L, or Sevilla, Titan Black Leather, and then Titan Black Cloth. So those are your color combos on the 2025 Jetta. The 2025 Jetta now has the extended tail light across the back, and it has an LED light bar on the Sport and the SEL. It won't have it on the S or the SE, but they now have that extended tail light that goes all the way across. No illuminated logo. Grigio is gray and Italian. Thank you. So, yeah. Okay, so I was way off. I don't know Italian at all. I know some Spanish, but not Italian. What was I saying? Oh, the extended tail light. I think they're going to the new, larger key fob on everything but Jetta. It's a safe bet to say the Jetta's not going to have anything but the same old key fob that it currently has, because the Jetta's getting a heavy refresh, and the Passat got a heavy refresh. And you remember what happened to the Passat right after that heavy refresh in 2020? The car went away. It was gone in 2 years. I think, friends, that the Jetta's going to have the same fate. They're not doing a full refresh. They didn't do a redesign. They're not talking about the Jetta long term. I think the Jetta's going to get the axe next, and Volkswagen is going to be sedanless, unless you count the ID7, which was delayed, and I think that's on the cancel track for the U.S. I don't see that car coming to the U.S. since they pulled out the plug on it recently. GLI. We're moving on to GLI. The color combo, or the colors for the GLI, are deep black, King's red with a black roof for obviously the Autobahn with the black package, Monterey blue with a black roof for the black package, Monument gray with a black roof for the black package, pure white with a black roof for the black package on the GLI. Only an Autobahn, no other trim. And that's the only car that you can get a manual in as well as an automatic. and all of them will come with Grigio leather. So now we know that's gray. So Grigio. I'm guessing it's going to be similar to the color that's in the GTI with leather seats, since it has that, they call it Titan Black, but it has black with gray and red accents. I'm guessing they're going to keep red accents in the GLI as well. That'd be kind of foolish to get rid of those, I think. So does anybody have questions about the GLI for 2025? Any questions at all, just chime in, type them in there. And by the way, hi Andrew. Model year 2025 for the Taos. There will be a Taos S, Taos SE, SE Black. SE Black is that new trim. We just had one that I did a video of. We have 2 more on the way to us. That basically replaces the SE with the black roof package. So I'll go over that again. And then there will be an SEL. So I'm hearing that the front end of these is LED front blinkers on a GLI. I believe so. Not 100% sure. They're going to a chamber light, kind of like what the Tiguan has. So it sounds like they're not going to have AFS on that car. So they kind of cheapened up the headlights, it sounds like, in my opinion. So they won't have the headlights with the AFS, with the lens that turns, or, or light assist or things of that nature if they're going with a chamber LED. And I'm referring to a chamber LED like what the Tiguan has on all trims except for the SEL. It's 3 little chambers with a light, and it just the chambers just aim the light out. 3 little squares. So it sounds like they're doing chamber LEDs for that. Don't know about the turn signals, and don't know about power folding mirrors. Power folding mirrors are coming to the lineup in another trim I'll get to in a minute, or another model. But I don't think the Jetta's going to get those because, like I said, the Jetta's getting a heavy refresh. They're not doing a redesign or anything like that on the car, so they're getting ready for its exit. And it'd be nice if they kept the GLI like they kept the GTI, and that was the only version of the Jetta they built. I'd be okay with that if they only built GLIs. But I don't see them doing that. They don't sell enough GLIs to justify that. So, Taos. SE, SE Black, and an SEL. Here's something new. Now there's new colors. Bright moss green. Not sure what that's going to look like. That's interesting on a Taos. Bright moss green with black for the SE Black. Will the GLI have a front light bar, or only the Sport and SEL will? I believe the GLI is getting the LED light bar, but not the illuminated logo. So it'll be a light bar like the Golf R has up until this year, where there's no illuminated logo on anything but Atlas right now. But in 2026, I think the Taos is getting it, and I think the Tiguan, I said 2026 again, 2025. I think the Tiguan's getting the illuminated logo front and rear, and then also the Taos may be getting it. So bright moss green with black for the SE Black, cornflower blue with black for the SE Black, Monterey blue, which replaces dusk blue. Then there's no black for that one, so that's not going to come on the SE Black. Monument gray, and then monument gray with black for the SE Black. Platinum gray, no platinum gray for the SE Black. Pure white, and then pure white with black for the SE Black. Pyrite silver, and no black, no SE Black for pyrite silver, and then deep black pearl. Now the SE Black is going to have, I don't know if they're going to change it further for 2025 since it's a new model year. I think they're just going to keep it the same. It'll have black door handles, black mirror caps, black roof, black A pillar, black C pillar, not C pillar, the D pillar, the back pillar. And darkened tail lights and the blue stitching on the inside, and it looks pretty cool. It actually looks pretty sharp. Oh, and it has the SEL headlight set up, so it has an LED light bar across the front, no illuminated logo, but it has the LED light bar and the AFS type headlights like the SEL Taos has. So it's got an aggressive looking little unit. The interior colors are going to be black cloud text and cloth. You have black leatherette and cloth. And then that's new because they didn't do leather. Well, they did do leatherette with the cloud text a little bit, so it's kind of it was kind of a hybrid of all three. Gray and black cloth, gray and black leather. gray cloud text and cloth, and now there's a new color called night blue leather. Not sure what that's going to go on. I'm guessing that's going to be for the SEL, and that's going to be like a midnight blue color. That'll be nice. And if you guys didn't catch the video or haven't heard me talk about the SE Black, the SE Black, for those of you who want a Taos or looked at the Taos but didn't like the blue dash on the SE, that night blue color on the dash that all the Taoses get regardless of the color, the SE Black doesn't have it. So maybe you get the SE Black rather than the Taos SE. Let's see. Now it looks like the Taos is going to start getting allocated. We're probably going to start seeing them in September or October for the Taos 2025 model. I don't foresee them coming any sooner than that because we have a lot of Taoses on the ground. Jetta and GLI we'll see in November. They're already allocated to dealers. They already have that date set up. Let's see here. I had some other notes here. I want to make sure I go over everything here. I don't have anything new on Arteon. Arteon is kind of they're selling out of those. IE4 there's not really much different there. There are changes for 2025. I went over those in a previous video. 2025 GTI, Andrew. We'll start seeing those probably September, October as well. Excuse me. Those will have an illuminated logo allegedly with the light bar on them. Don't know if they're going to have an illuminated logo on the rear. There will be no manual option. This is the last year for manual. And speaking of manual, I have a bunch on the ground right now. I have two Autobahns, 380 Autobahns, one white one, one black one. Sharp ass cars, really. And if I could own two Golfs, I would own, if I had the money to buy a GTI and keep my Golf R, I would have both cars because they're so different. Amazing cars. So GTI will have ChatGPT. In the ChatGPT, it sounds kind of daunting when they talk about having ChatGPT for the 2025 models, but actually, in reality, it's to help the onboard voice assistant work better. So it'll actually do internet searches, it'll search Google and things like that. Things that the current system is kind of clumsy, clunky, just doesn't work well with. ChatGPT is going to be cool. So they're kind of interact with each other. ChatGPT is going to be coming to everything for 2025. Allegedly, the Jetta is going to get an updated infotainment system, but not anything new. It's like the MIB 3, like 0.5 or something. They're not calling it that. I'm not kind of making that up, but it's with the Jetta not getting anything but a heavy refresh. I don't foresee them putting anything really fancy in that. So I don't think it's going to stick up. I think it's still going to be in a dash. It was that way in a Passat. And if it's anything like the Passat, they may have, I was going to say they may have some CarNet issues with connectivity for CarNet. Stuff may not be there, or MyVW. But they fixed that, and the GLI already has it, so I don't see them really taking that away. But I can't wait to see one of these cars, to see what it looks like in person. And of course, make videos of those so you guys can all see those. They're going to look sharp, I think. I still think it's foolish to get rid of the Jetta, but I think they're going to do it. I think that's their plan. GTI, though, not a whole lot of changes there. There's no color changes other than the Mythos black is now a color. I think they're keeping everything else. I don't see anything in the order guides yet. Mexico gets the 10-inch dial-less MIB3 in the Jetta GLI. Any chance that will happen? Doubtful. I don't see them putting that much into the Jetta. I really don't. When they know that they got something on the chopping block, they do the refresh. They don't do a half-ass refresh, but they don't invest in the car. They don't invest in R&D. They don't invest in changing things up. I have a fan down here and it blew a piece of dust in my eye, so I keep reaching for my eye. Sorry about that, guys. They don't invest a lot of stuff, a lot of money and time in refreshing are doing a lot of changes to it. So I don't really see that changing. The GTI, I know the Golf R is getting a horsepower bump. I'm not sure about the GTI yet. They haven't really given us details on that, but the Golf R gets another horsepower bump, and that black edition comes out, which is going to be badass. Andrew, maybe you need to get a Golf R. You can't lease it, you'd have to buy it, but it's a badass car. The black edition, I might give up my R for that. Seriously. But I'm kind of on the fence about that infotainment screen. It's going to get that 12.9-inch screen. And I don't know. Seeing it in pictures, it looks not clumsy. It's just there. We have an ID4 on the showroom floor that has that screen. It doesn't seem as intrusive there, but it's still big. And I'm not sure I'm going to like it. I like my little 10-inch screen because it kind of, the line tapers down like this into it from the dash. And I like that setup. It's nice and clean. The Golf R is going to have the horsepower bump. It's also going to have the lighter alloy wheels. And with it being the horsepower bump that it's getting, it's going to be the fastest Volkswagen on the planet. So it's going to be nice. Let's see. I'm trying to think what else I can tell you about the GTI. They're keeping the sunroof. They're keeping the Autobahn. They're keeping all the trims there. Yeah. So yeah, I don't think the 12.9. It's not gonna be my favorite, but ChatGPT is kind of cool. And then if you do get that big screen, gesture control is now gone, which I didn't really use that much anyway. The gesture control is just kind of, it's a gimmick. It's not really that intuitive. It's not like BMW where you can twist and gesture and move a hand across and do stuff like that and have it do different things. I mean, you can literally, on a BMW, you can twist your hand, do things like that, and it knows the difference and does all that stuff. Our gesture control, you just swipe left, swipe right, and that's pretty much it. Or on the Atlas and Crossport, you swipe down and swipe up. So I think the gesture control thing is probably going to go away. The 12.9-inch screen is coming to a lot of things. So I talked about Arteon. I kind of glazed over ID4. I did talk about GTI and Golf R. The black edition, badass. If you can get one, get your name on the list for one, because there's not going to be a lot of them. We are going to see that car in the States. I guarantee it, because I've already seen it. I can see little snippets in our intranet stuff. And it was there, and they took it down. So they sometimes accidentally upload stuff, and then they remove it. And it was there long enough for me to see it. So moving on, ID Buzz. ID Buzz, I have 9 of them allocated to me, 9. 2 Pro S's, rear-wheel drives, one in Deep Black Pearl, one in Metro Silver. Those will be probably December-ish, November, December-ish. Those will be hitting the lots after Thanksgiving. Then I have the remaining 7 are all first editions all-wheel drive. I have 3 in energetic orange, 3 in Cabana blue, and 1 in Mahi green. And I don't remember what the other color is. Oh, that's 7. So yeah, that's it. So those, I have 2 of those reserved. I have people, now we're starting to get phone calls on people asking about reserving this ID Buzz. And with this being the 55th year, a 55th anniversary of Woodstock, yeah, Volkswagen's missing the boat by not having these cars on the ground right now and advertising the hell out of that. Pretty cool that if they were to do something like that. So I don't know how this car is going to go. It's going to have the 12.9-inch screen. It's going to have ChatGPT. And it's going to have something called Pro Park Assist, where you can actually park the car using your cell phone without you in it. Most of them are coming with carrier bars, black bumperdillos, and I think most of the ones I have are coming with captain's chairs. So there's going to be a captain's chair version or the 7-seat version with a bench. So think of the Atlas in an EV. And a cool looking, retro looking EV. So this thing's going to be really cool. Really excited to get my hands on one and get it here. to see what the public thinks of them. Once they start showing up on the streets, man, I think all bets are off. People are going to see them and go, ooh, I want one of those. Um, Still no word on pricing. Pricing, I'm going to bet that pricing is going to start somewhere in the 60s and go from there. I can't really see them pulling that off for under 60 grand. But there was also a rumor that they're maybe looking into maybe building that in Chattanooga at some point down the road. But they're only building 3,000 of them at first here for the U.S. for Q4 of this year. And then next year, they're going to open the floodgates, I guess. No word on whether or not we will get the GTX version. They haven't talked about it at all. That's just me bringing it up. It'd be cool to get the GTX version. It would also be cool to get a California XL version, which would sell like crazy in the States, but they have already said that they don't plan on selling the California XL in the States. For those of you who are not aware, the California XL is the camper version of the ID Buzz. I don't know why they wouldn't. I think it would go absolutely bonkers in California itself. Not sure about that. The other thing I want to talk about, the one that's left, the elephant in the room, Tiguan. So Tiguan, I'm getting really excited about this one, guys, because the Tiguan is there's a lot of hype going on, and it's not coming from anywhere in the U.S. It's crazy. If you want to see what that car looks like, just search for 2024 Tiguan on Google, and you'll see the thumbnails. And you'll see there's a dark green one in there. Autogo Fuel does one. I think Car Wow has one. I can't believe I'm recommending other channels, but I'm going to tell you what. They do reviews on the car, and they look cool. So things I know about the Tiguan, European spec at this point, haven't heard anything except for my little leaky source about Tiguan for the U.S. So everything I tell you is pure speculation on the U.S. spec. We have no backup on this. Number one, we know it's not being built in Puebla. It is going to be built in Germany, and they're going to ship them across on ships. They're going to go on the Ro-Ro ships, the roll-on, roll-off ships. So they're coming from Germany. The U.S. is not getting a Tayron. The U.S. is getting the European spec Tiguan with the long wheelbase. We're getting the long wheelbase European spec Tiguan here in the U.S. Let's see, are we getting the 8.5 facelift? So I didn't really touch on it, but yes, squintier headlights, LED light bar, illuminated logo, 12.9-inch screen, chat GBT, Golf R gets a horsepower bump, and the black package. So AJ, I hope that wasn't too fast, but hey, there you go. So back to the Tiguan. Tiguan's going to come in an S, an SE, an SEL-R-Line black, an SEL, and an SEL-R-Line. The SE and the SEL-R-Line are going to be gas and a partial hybrid EV or PHEV. So rumor is it's going to be plug-in. Any chance they will bring the short wheelbase Tiguan to the U.S.? Probably not. Not a chance. They think Americans are big and fat and we need lots of cup holders. That's what they think. I don't see that coming back. The Taos is kind of firmly in that space. And I think with the refresh on the Taos, this is going to kind of appeal more to the people who like the Tiguan and want a smaller version of the Tiguan. Not thinking that they're going to do a short wheelbase Tiguan back in the States. Now, back to the Tiguan. Tiguan S, power folding mirrors. Tiguan SE, power folding mirrors. Tiguan SEL, power folding mirrors. SE Black, or SEL-R-Line Black, power folding mirrors. The hybrids, power folding mirrors. The SEL-R-Line Pro Park Assist, where it'll have, they may call it something different. I'm calling it Pro Park Assist. I'm not sure what they're calling it, but it's where you can actually be outside the car and control the car parking from your phone. So it's going to have that. So the R-lines are going to look different. It looks to me like they're using glass on the front instead of an open grille. It's like a glass front. It's more blended, more round. Some cool colors. There's a green color coming on the Tiguan as well. So that green that you see in that European spec video, there's a video out there. I don't remember who does it, but it's all music. He doesn't talk. He just walks around the car, shows you the key, the tail lights, the 3D tail lights. All that stuff's coming to the U.S. Again, we are not getting the Tayron. The Tayron is a Chinese version or a Chinese-built, Chinese market car or SUV that is in the Tiguan segment for China. We're not getting that car. It is not a rebadged Tayron, and all those reports out there are saying that it's the Tayron. No, not true. We're not getting a Tayron. I do believe the Tiguan is getting a slight bump in length. It's under an inch, but I think it is getting a little longer length to it. I do also believe that heated and ventilated seats are coming to all Tiguans, just like they did for Atlas and Atlas Crossport, as well as the power folding mirrors. The R-Line will get different seats. So the SEL-R-Line Black and the SEL-R-Lines will have more of a Recaro race seat with a kind of hole in it behind the head here. You kind of see those in the European spec ones. Those seats are coming to the U.S. as well. There's also a rumor of a horsepower bump. I've heard as much as 86 horsepower. That sounds very un-Volkswagen-y. They don't usually do something that dramatic. But I hear that the horsepower bump is in the works. They're also, in Europe, they're referring to it as a 1.5 liter petrol engine, where we call that gas over here, but the 1.5 is already in the Jetta and the Taos. I'm not sure that they're going to slap that in a Tiguan. I think that we're still going to get a 2.0. 25 Tiguan is actually based off the Tayron coming from Puebla. Pre-production models are already built. Your dealer principal should see it in Florida this September. Okay, well that is counter everything that I'm hearing, because the big debate is about that Tayron thing. Because the Tayron, when you look at a Tayron, and you guys go out there and look at a video of a Tayron, it's got this big, huge. It reminds me of BMW when their grill kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and there were all those memes where it went from big to bigger to big to biggest, and the headlights were like this small, and it just got where it was all grill. The Tayron looks like that on the front. They show an R-line in this big, huge opening down at the bottom, or what looks like an air intake at the bottom. If you search 2024 Tiguan, you get the Euro spec one, and it's got a totally different front end. That is what we're being told now. My source is telling me. The Tayron thing, they're kind of gone and ran with. Puebla, you're the first to say that they're building it in Puebla again, because I'm hearing, man, it's coming from Germany. So we'll agree to disagree on that one, but I don't know for sure. I don't know if my person's right. I don't know if your source is right. But September sounds about right. We were hearing maybe November, and they were talking about delaying it, but it's been delayed for every auto show and every auto show and every auto show, so we've not really seen one. But we do know the 12.9-inch screen is coming. There's also a story of a 15-inch screen out there that's reserved for the SEL-R-Line. Don't know for sure if that's again, we got no confirmation on this. I just have a really good leaky source. Actually, he's got two sources. Let's see. Tiguan. So back to what we were talking about on Tiguan. There's Tiguan S, Tiguan SE, the SEL-R-Line Black, and the SEL, and then the SEL-R-Line Black. Or not black, but SEL-R-Line. The SEL-R-Line and the SEL-R-Line Black both have the new Recaro-looking seats, race seats. The Tiguan is going to have, on the upper trims, a massage seat. They're going to have lots of ambient lighting on the inside. The dash lights up cool. They're going to have different kind of vents on it as well. There's going to be a shifter, like the new shifter on the ID4, where it's on a stick on the steering column. So you'll just twist back to go into drive. You'll twist up to go to reverse. I may be saying that backwards, but it's a little twisty thing on the actual steering column. Still push button start. And then there's going to be a knob that does mood and music volume and all kinds of stuff there. So check out those videos. You'll see that video. that has the knob. It has an LED light display on it, and an LED display that changes. You can do moods. You can do all kinds of stuff. And you can assign your moods playlists, which is just bonkers. And it's going to have chat GBT. It's going to use the Hello Ida setup for your Volkswagen Assistant, just like the ID4 does. This car is going off the rails, man. I'm telling you what, this car is going to be badass. And we're going to sell a lot of them, especially now with a hybrid. Don't know about the trailer hitch. The trailer hitch that drops out underneath, it's kind of a manual, kind of you put it back yourself kind of thing. There's going to be a button in the back hatch for a tow hitch, for the tow hitch and ball that drops down on the Tiguan. Don't know if that's going to get out of Europe though. Let's see. Trying to think what else on the Tiguan I need to go over with you. Of course, I said new colors, power folding mirrors, chat GBT, horsepower bump, new engines, hybrid, plug-in hybrid, the horsepower bump, yeah, new interiors, new premium interiors. Let's see. Are you forward to the Wolfsburg edition in the meantime? The Wolfsburg edition was a surprise. They just popped up in our allocation probably 4 weeks ago. So we got 3 of them. So for those of you who are asking, the 2024 Tiguan is getting a new trim. For the remainder of the 2024 production, there will be a Wolfsburg edition, which is not unusual. When the Passat changed in 2015, from 2015 to the new Passat in 2016, they came out with the Passat Limited. And then they came out with the Passat GT in 2019 when they went to 2020. So basically, they come up with a trim that empties the parts bins so they don't have leftover parts when a production run is done. Great idea, genius idea. They use up parts. They come up with a trim that uses up parts. Now there's a Tiguan Wolfsburg coming out for 2024. Don't know what the specs are on it, but it's going to have black seats with orange stitching, which makes me think it's going to be like the Peak Edition. Not overall of the car. I'm talking about the seats. The seats are going to be like the Peak Edition, black with orange stitching. There's probably going to be an orange and black badge maybe on the outside of the car. Don't think they're really going crazy with all-terrain wheels or anything like that. I don't think it's anything like that. It's just a Wolfsburg edition. If you guys remember back 2016, I want to say 2016, maybe 2017, there was a Wolfsburg edition of the Tiguan where it had the medallion on the side of the A-pillar, or not the A-pillar, the C-pillar on the doors. And it wasn't really much. It was just using up parts. So I'm going to guess that has push-button start. It may have remote start, power liftgate, things of that nature. Who knows? Don't know if it'll have a sunroof or anything like that. But those are showing up in the pipeline, and dealers are just going to be like, hey, where'd this come from? What is this? Oh, I didn't know this was a trim. They'll put something together and let us know. But I don't know any features on it or anything like that. I don't know how that car is configured and where it's going to fall in the lineup. My bet is it's going to be somewhere between the S and the SE, because the SE already has a lateral move to the SEL-R-Line, which the interiors are the same except for panoramic sunroof and park distance sensors at the front and rear on the SEL-R-Line, but it's the same car with 19-inch wheels and black accents. So I'm going to guess that the Tiguan Wolfsburg is going to go in that slot between the S and the SE. I can't really see it going between the SEL-R-Line and the SEL. The SEL-R-Line, I should say. Speaking of R-Line, R-Lines are now, how do I put this? They are the most, they're the most attractive car out there in our lineup for Tiguan. I don't think anything beats a Tiguan SEL-R-Line in looks in that category, because it's competing with the Rogue, it's competing with the CR-V, it's excuse me. It's competing with the, there might be the RAV4 Prime, and then there's one with a black kit on it, I think, that Toyota has now. But there's not a lot out there that competes with the Tiguan SEL-R-Line on class and elegance, just the way that car looks. The SEL-R-Line is also a super sharp looking car. Any changes to the 25 Atlas, considering upgrading from our 21 R-Line to a 24 now? Unless the only changes really for the 25 Atlas is if you're looking at the SEL Premium R-Line. That's the only place there's really going to be changes. More colors, perforated headrests, and massage seats. Um, that's definitely going to add to the price tag. That's going to make that car probably more like 57, 58 instead of 56, 55 to 56. If you go with a bench, it's 55. If you go with a captain's chair setup, it's 56. So I'm going to say that's going to bump and probably at least 800 to $1,000. So you're going to start seeing those cars in the 58 range. They'll still be under 60. We're not interested in going over 60, I don't think, on the Atlas. I just don't see that happening. Destination charges, I wouldn't be surprised if destination charges next year take a hit and go up again, because we're having logistical nightmares with shipping cars to dealers right now. And the fact that everything comes, even from Chattanooga, comes by train to us now rather than by truck. We are in St. Louis. We're only, I want to say, 4 to 5 hours away from Chattanooga by truck. And we've been getting Atlases by truck now by train now for almost probably 6 months. And it's added, oh my gosh, we would get our Atlases in 48 hours by truck from the factory. I mean, fresh off the assembly line, parked in a parking lot and then loaded on a truck, and we have them in 48 hours. Now, 5 to 6 weeks, easy to get cars. And then they come in on little one-way local haulers that can only carry 3 cars at a time. You'll also notice that if you're on the highway and you're passing in one of those transport trucks, the big 53-foot ones, if you see them loaded with Volkswagens, there's a good chance they're only loaded with ID4s. The reason for that is those ID4s are a lot heavier, and those trucks can handle them. Our local trucking one-way trucking guys can't handle ID4s on their trailers. The weight distribution is an issue. So those have been coming exclusively on 53-foot trailers, not by train. They did for a few, and then there were a few accidents with ID4s on them where people weren't considering the weight. They weren't doing the calculations right on their trailers, and it's just too risky. So, and this is all my presumption here, me figuring out some things. I notice a lot, so that's things I notice. Yeah, I kind of rambled there, but the Atlas, yeah, those changes. What a cool name, Bobby Burt. I like that. The Atlas changes there are pretty much it. The perforated seats, massage seats, perforated headrest, I should say. And now you can get avocado green on a premium Atlas, and there'll be a blue for the premium Atlas now. And they all come with Shetland beige or black with silver underlay for the diamond stitch leather interior. So I hope that answers your question. Infotainment's going to stay the same. There's no horsepower bump. There's no real other changes there. Let's see. Any other questions out there? Any questions at all? There was something else I was going to talk about. Oh, the other thing that I was going to talk about that's not related to any of the cars there. The Volkswagen investment in Rivian. I think it's a very smart move. And a lot of people seem to think that we're investing $5 billion, or Volkswagen is investing $5 billion in Rivian, or that they're buying a share of buying a stake in Rivian. At this point, it's only $1 billion. It's a $1 billion investment with the opportunity to invest up to $5 billion later. But they're getting, any chance we ever get another convertible in States? T-Roc Cabrio. I would love for them to bring the T-Roc to the States, but I don't see that ever happening. Oh, that reminds me, there's a rumor. There's rumblings that there may be a return of a car, a fan favorite. I'll get to that in a minute though. But Rivian, I think it's a smart move. Rivian only makes 3 vehicles. They make the pickup truck, the SUV, and they're making the delivery trucks for Amazon. Amazon I believe, has a 48% stake in Rivian, which is a smart move on their part. And what better way to product test a vehicle than have Amazon using thousands of your electric delivery vans. They're kind of cool looking. They're kind of quirky. Volkswagen's investing in Rivian to get access to their EV platforms, software, production practices, things of that nature. Because Rivian puts out, as far as I can see right now, as far as I can tell, it's a pretty decent product. It doesn't look cheap. It doesn't look half-assed. It doesn't seem shoddy. I see a lot of people talk about Teslas and shoddy workmanship and things of that nature. I don't hear that about Rivian. And Rivian is here in the Midwest. It's not far from us in Normal, Illinois, the factory. So there's 8,000 workers there. I think it's a great strategy for Volkswagen to be sharing basically proper proprietary information and things like that with. We can probably offer them improvements and they can offer us that as well. And I think it's kind of a smart move on Volkswagen's part, because if you guys remember, Volkswagen owns Scout. And Scout is building that factory in South Carolina. And that factory will come online sometime in 2026. And Rivian already is making electric SUVs and pickup trucks. I could see Volkswagen later on doing some type of joint venture production with Rivian to help scale Rivian up. And maybe Volkswagen becomes an owner of Rivian, or maybe they bring them into the brand or something like that. Maybe that's their plan. They'll kind of wait and see. Because if you remember, Ford and Volkswagen had a partnership that they forged as well. And there's a lot of EV technology that Volkswagen is letting Ford use, and vice versa. Ford is sharing technologies with Volkswagen and strategies to help them in Europe. What am I getting at here? Rivian, I think it's a smart investment. I think it's going to do good things for the brand, for Volkswagen. If I had money laying around, I'd probably buy some Rivian stock. It's probably too late for that. They probably already got the boost. And then there's also news out there about us investing in solid state batteries. There's a brand that makes solid state batteries for EVs, or is working on that, and Volkswagen is trying to get that going. And then I've also heard that we're looking into hydrogen vehicles too. So it looks like we're expanding out there and trying to kind of broaden the brand a little bit. But I think the Rivian thing is a really smart move. The car that I was talking about, hinted at, that we're hearing grumblings that they may look at bringing it back. As you guys remember, the Super Bowl ad for Volkswagen, it was the #1 Super Bowl commercial, was the most watched, and that commercial was heavy on Beetle. They were talking about the memories of the Beetle. It was funny looking. People bought it. People gave it a chance when it came over in 1949 on the boat. And it's the 75th anniversary of Volkswagen. There's grumblings now that they may be looking at bringing back the Beetle. Again, no, still, I think it's going to be an EV version of the Beetle. It's maybe a hybrid. Because someone asked earlier about a convertible top. I don't know. I don't know if they can do that or not on an EV. I don't know that there's an EV convertible that exists as of yet. I would kind of think there's probably some challenges there, some headwinds with that. But I know Volkswagen has also looked at backtracking a little bit on their ICE, phasing out their ICE engines. They had 195, I believe it was $195 billion set aside for EV investment and research and development. And they took a bit of that money to work on gas engines again. So the EV world is not going at the pace that everybody expected it to. I never expected it to go gangbusters. I only expected to make 30% penetration in any given market for EVs. I don't see it going any higher than that. I think gas and combustion engines they have a place and they're going to be there. Now, does that mean I'm for global warming and the carbon footprint and all that. No, that doesn't mean that. It just means, well, if we get to 30% market share of EVs, haven't we made a dent in the carbon footprint then? If we take 30% of those cars out of the internal combustion engine cars out of the market and replace them with EVs, then we've made a mark. We've made a dent. So EV adoption is just going to take longer. It's going to take a while. I thought I heard somebody coming in the door down here. It's going to take a while, but it'll get there. There's other technologies out there, hybrid, solid state battery. Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff out there. So there's all kinds of cool changes that are coming that we don't know about. And I mean, I can't wait for the future. But anyway, I'm kind of rambling on here. I wanted to touch on the Rivian thing. I really think it's a good idea for Volkswagen to invest in that. And answer your question, Andrew, T-Roc, I would love it all day. And I thought we were getting the T-Roc, and then they introduced the Taos instead. I think there was a plan for the T-Roc at one point, but the Taos took over and took that spot, because the T-Roc does have a convertible and it's pretty sharp. So I'm going to end this because I'm about to choke on a dust particle. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, have a great evening, and we'll see you next time.